Hi, Alan Schimmel, DevOps.com here at CD Summit Jenkins Days in Boston. And I'm happy to be joined by Andre Pino, who heads up marketing at CloudBees. Andre, welcome.
Hi, Alan. How you doing? It's great to be here.
Great. Andre, this is day one only of the show. We've had our workshops today. The Jenkins room, I know we had to stop selling tickets. It was sold out. It was standing
It's
room
crowded.
only. It was a great morning of a lot of Jenkins learning. And I imagine at least some of it or some of the buzz is around the new release of Jenkins 2.0.
Jenkins 2.0, yeah. So that was released last week to great fanfare.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look online, a lot of people are chiming in that it seems to be a really good, solid release for the community. It really addresses, three key things. First of all, it puts continuous delivery pipelines as the centerpiece of Jenkins, because as organizations are trying to extend their continuous integration to continuous delivery and move to the right in the life cycle, Jenkins is playing a key role in that, in orchestrating that process. And so these pipelines can get very complex. And so with the pipeline feature in Jenkins 2.0, it will allow organizations to evolve their continuous delivery at their pace. So you want to start simple, it'll support simple. You want to get complex with branched complex pipelines, you can do that as well.
Yes. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, the second sort of mini session within the morning was on pipelines today.
Yeah, it's a really popular topic right now.
Yeah.
And then, the pipelines, you can't, a lot of cases it's hard to talk about pipelines, but also without also talking about container technology. They seem to go hand in hand anymore.
Okay.
And some of the greatest interest we've had recently is in Jenkins pipelines plus Docker. As you know, all
Yeah.
the webinars that we've done have drawn huge crowds.
Yes.
And so this is a very, very hot topic right now, because I think organizations are trying to figure out what's next for DevOps in the DevOps area, and how do we utilize all this new technology and streamline their transformation to DevOps.
Great. So I didn't realize that is interesting. And now the dots are starting to connect for me where we see that.
Yeah, and Docker plays a special role within Jenkins, because not only can you implement Jenkins in a Docker container and make it very easy for you to launch Jenkins itself, but then Jenkins can also deploy Docker containers onto various platforms.
Great. Andre, for our audience may not be aware of this, but of course we're doing the CD Summit Jenkins Day both this spring. I think our next ones are in London and Stockholm.
Yep.
And then a little break for the summer. We'll do about 6 cities in the U.S. alone in the fall, as well as I think 2 or 3 more over in Europe, perhaps Asia. And of course, there's Jenkins World coming up in October in San Francisco.
Yeah, Jenkins World is going to be September 13th. September 13th through the 15th in Santa Clara at the Santa Clara Convention Center. And we're planning for a very big event. We expect somewhere in the area of 1,500 to 2,000 people, and we're trying to make it a worldwide event and bring in some of the key Jenkins people from around the world. So a lot of the key contributors to the community will be there and speaking. Of course, KK and the core team, the governance committee, will be there. And what's really cool about Jenkins World this time around is we're really trying to make it the Jenkins event for the community, for CloudBees, and for the ecosystem around Jenkins as well, which is growing all the time as well.
Sure. And then, of course, for people who can't make Jenkins World, there is CD Summit and Jenkins Days. And you can get that schedule up on DevOpsConnect.com.
These have been very successful, and we've gotten a lot of very positive feedback from them as we take the message of Jenkins 2.0, Jenkins pipelines, Jenkins plus Docker, Jenkins scalability around the world.
So, Andre, Jenkins, I think you said it best. I saw you do a presentation last week in Chicago, and Silicon Valley, the HBO TV show, Actually, they were using Jenkins to build their Pied Piper thing. Jenkins is part of the environment at this point, right? It's kind of built in. When we talk about CloudBees, where are you seeing the biggest pickup? Why, if someone's already a Jenkins user, what's the no-brainer to say, hey, we need CloudBees Enterprise?
That's a great question, Alan. So, you know, what CloudBees does is, number one, we work very closely with the community. We support the community in events like this, as well as we contribute a lot of the Jenkins code to the community. But beyond that, what we do is take some of the things that the community is not as well adept to provide, and that is sort of the more of the enterprise class attributes around scalability and manageability and high availability, and we bring those to the marketplace. And so one of the things that we're seeing a lot of is as organizations expand their use of Jenkins. In fact, some of the stats that we have show that the use of Jenkins in organizations is growing somewhere between 50 to 75% per year.
Wow.
So that's the amount of the number of builds that they're actually utilizing Jenkins for, the number of continuous delivery pipelines that they're using Jenkins for. So it's becoming core, central, and mission critical to their work. And so organizations who are seeing Jenkins rise to this level of usage in the organization, they're looking for, number one, they're looking for support to ensure, because if it's mission critical, they want to make sure that somebody's there they can call and get immediate help and assistance. And then the other thing is they're looking for these additional capabilities from an enterprise standpoint that they can bring into the organization to help manage Jenkins, help secure it across the various projects that they have, scale it to the needs that they have. For example, we just released the CloudBees Jenkins Platform Private SaaS Edition. This is a product that is based on Jenkins. It utilizes container technology, Docker technology, as well as Mesos technology for the deployment of those Docker images, and allows organizations to establish centrally a Jenkins environment whereby project teams can push a button, essentially spin up a whole new Jenkins environment, on their own. And when they need agents to actually perform the builds, it'll spin those agents up. When the builds are completed, it'll release them. And so they've got an environment that has all the advantages of Jenkins, but also takes on all the attributes, the wonderful benefits and attributes of cloud technology as well.
So it's a Jenkins cloud.
It's Jenkins as a service
Jenkins as a service cloud.
on a private cloud. That's exactly what it is.
That's really great.
So whether you're running OpenStack, Red Hat OpenStack, or AWS Virtual Private Cloud, you can utilize this product and offer it to your project teams, and again, streamline their use of Jenkins so that you don't have to provision and set up a whole Jenkins environment, push a button, and it spins it up. And it spins up that environment based on your needs and policies.
That's impressive. That, to me, that could be the killer app.
We've seen a lot of interest in this product.
Excellent. Well, Andre, we're going to let you get back to your workshops and stuff.
Thanks, Alan. Always a pleasure.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay.
This is Alan Schimmel at DevOps.com at CD Summits Jenkins Days, Boston. Thank you.